Good morning. It's the last weekend in March, and I planted up one last thing right here. This is a sea lavender. I used to put heliotrope here, and it was beautiful. I'll share a picture from a year or two ago, and I really loved the way this looked with the yellow of the rock rose Mickey, the Chef's Choice lavender, Chef's Choice rosemary, and then the heliotrope with the beautiful purple flowers. Well, I've switched to the sea lavender this year to see how it goes. This is a perennial. The heliotrope was an annual. It usually fried in the summer, and this should do better. The freesia over here on the retaining wall is also in bloom. So I originally purchased purple, and these turned red this year, and I had never seen that happen before. I looked it up, and according to the almighty internet, it is because the plant or the bulbs have become stressed. I suspect it is a lack of water because this area here tends to stay pretty dry due to the redwood tree above it. So I am considering moving these to another side of the yard, but the red is really pretty. There are these variations of this dark red and the orange red up here. It just doesn't feel quite right next to the lavender because I didn't actually intend to have red. Oh, look at this one. This one's almost, and this one is almost this bright pink red. There's just so many colors here. It's really interesting. I also brought out my little greenhouse cover for this raised bed. It has two zippers, one on each side. You can just unzip it and roll the thing up to let airflow through, but right now I just have a few seed starts going in here, keeping them warm in the evening, and then opening it up during the day when it gets warmer and letting the air flow through. I pulled all the plants out of the raised bed. I put the bacopa here on the two corners of this bed, the gara here, and I can never remember the name of that thing. I think it's Australian daisy or something, probably not the right name. Anyway, I put these cute little guys. They will probably do really well here. They're going to get a lot of sun. I might even buy a few more later in a few months or so, just to kind of add here to give it additional color. Also, channeling Linda Vodder, I quickly went through and trimmed up the euonymus here to try and make them a little more round balls so that they develop. You can see here I got one of the echinacea coming in there. You can barely see it, but there's a couple of leaves there, and then I have the three nepeta that are also coming back. I plan to pull up the drip in here. I think this area is getting too much water and I need to cut it back a little. And this is all the drip tubing with the built-in emitters every 1 inch or every 12 inches. So I can't just like remove emitters and improve it. And the Dutch iris over on the side of the house is in bloom right now. They are so tall. I don't think I've ever seen them get this tall before, but they are beautiful right now. And when we had the path put in over here, we had this pot moved over here. I still need to decide what to put in it, and I'm probably going to move the salvia. I believe that's a salvia that's in here. Skyrocket salvia. Part of the reason we decided not to plant anything, because this is where the Asian pear was that I believe got root knot. So we decided to go with a pot rather than try and plant anything in the ground around here again. Hopefully this all works out okay. The last thing that's going on right now is the red bud is starting to flower. There are flowers all over, and they are beautiful. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it looks. The foxglove is looking beautiful. I have so many babies here. I have never had a foxglove go to seed. I am just amazed by the number of seedlings that have come up in here, and they're all over. They're in front, they're behind, and there's a ton on the other side too, next to the columbine. And I even have one that's about ready to bloom. I don't remember buying white. I thought I had pink and purple in here, but regardless, it's looking pretty amazing. Now, what I want to do is potentially take some of this and move it around the yard a little more, have it planted in a few more spots. So I dug up some of the foxglove and a geranium and planted it kind of in an arc around here. I think I planted about 5 groupings of the foxglove here. They're not looking super happy right now, but fingers crossed. I moved a couple clumps right down here, which is where the geranium was. So we'll see if those survive. So I just pulled out the whole chunk of dirt and planted it here. At the base of the Chinese pistache, I planted one more chunk of the foxglove right there. Right behind it is gladiolus that are starting to come in. And behind the spirea, the orange rocket, the daylilies, the bearded iris, I planted right behind the purple pillar Rosa Sharon, another grouping of them. None of them look really good right now, so we'll see what happens. Thank you for joining me for my garden journey, and we'll see you in the next one.